DJ, as a married man and a father, how nervous are you for this weekend?
I'm more excited. I get to be away from the kids and act like an idiot again.
But you know that you have to function once you get back home with a baby, with a wife. And all we are going to do this weekend is watch college football, which we're currently doing while we record this podcast. Drinking, maybe golfing, drafting, more drinking. And then after that, we'll just be doing more drinking.
I'm taking Tuesday off, so I don't have to see any wife or kids at all. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, let's get the drinking and let's get loaded. Because this is the Loaded Box Podcast.
Where we never finish first, because we finish last.
Thank you very much for tuning in to the Loaded Box Podcast. I'm Ben Morgan. That's DJ Primo. And if something seems a little bit different, or if you're watching on YouTube today, you're going to have your mind blown because we are looking live. DJ, I can see you.
And we're looking live.
I can see you. I could touch you if I wanted to. I don't really want to. But, man, we can go behind us and get a beer. We can drink together.
Watching football?
We literally get to podcast in person twice a year usually?
Whenever my dick comes.
That's not what usually happens. But anyways, we are looking live today. We are going to be doing our 2019 NFL Predictions podcast. We go through records, division winners, playoff matchups, Super Bowl predictions, MVP predictions, offensive and defensive rookie of the year predictions. But even more importantly, DJ, we're recording this on Saturday. It's early afternoon. And you know what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is
Sunday.
Yeah, that's all I needed to say.
Tomorrow's Sunday.
But it's literally one of our favorite days of the year because we have our draft it's a fantasy draft that we take it serious, but at the same time, it's a club. It's a party.
It's a shit show. When the music starts popping in about the 10th round and it turns into a party, then it's on. That's how it goes.
We typically don't even normally when you think about fantasy football, you think about your guy friends drinking, making picks, scratching shit off of your checklist after people are picked. This one has girls, lots of beer, lots of food.
Babies.
The girls aren't in the league, but the girls are there, and they're like entertainment for us.
Yeah, they usually have.
That sounds terrible.
They take their, they got the tight little skimpy pants on and carrying us beers. No, we actually have a beer bitch in the league for the last place person.
We have a beer bitch. We are actually going to be tweeting out a picture of him tomorrow because I got to be involved in the outfit that we're dressing him up in. We'll save that for Twitter. So make sure you check that out at Loaded Box. But DJ, let's jump into these 2019.
Oh shit!
Jesus, I thought you were prepared. You're right in front of me. Now I can see you're not even.
I'm always prepared
in real life.
I'm just nervous.
2019 NFL season predictions. Let's start where I'm comfortable in the AFC East. Who do you have winning the division? Is it the Patriots again?
So I have the Patriots skirting by again, just a little bit closer this year. I've got the Patriots going 11-5, and the Jets coming in with a close second at 10-6, just because I believe in Sam Darnold.
Do you have, so we can kind of spoil our playoffs as we go into this as well. Do you have the Jets sneaking into the playoffs as a wild card?
I don't.
See, me either, and I actually had the Jets going 9-7, so I'm with you on that. I had New England going 12-4, earning the 3 seed in the playoffs. And honestly, it's a runaway again. The Bills have improved. The Jets have improved. New England, literally, until Belichick and Brady go, I'm not ever picking against them. I don't even need to say too much more because the Dolphins aren't doing anything in this division. I have them at 4-12. What do you have the Dolphins at?
6-10.
This is New England's
Josh
division.
Rosen.
It's basically New England's conference until someone can take it away from them. So it's literally a clean sweep. If there's one division that I'm not 100% confident, but if I would have to bet on a team to win a division, it'd be New England taking the East.
Maybe.
I'm
not fully confident. I am. I think the Jets are going to give them a challenge this year. I think 11-5 was almost even too high.
The Jets' defense gets me a little excited, I guess. I'm still a little bit lackluster on the offense because I don't know what is going to happen with Le'Veon Bell. He's obviously going to get He's going to get a bunch of carries.
Pour it up.
He's going to get a bunch of stats. He's going to be worthy of that 5th, 6th pick in your fantasy drafts. But, man, Robbie Anderson, outside of that, who are you throwing the ball to? Jamison Crowder?
I think he could be solid in the slot. Quincy Noon was a monster. You're underrating some really good players in that offense. And I think Le'Veon Bell is going to help Sam Darnold so tremendously in his second year. I love the guy.
I like what they're doing, what I think they need to do. They got that defense where they want it. I think just through free agency, through the draft the next couple of years, they can be the team that unseats New England. It's just going to take another year or two, maybe 10 by
Lots
the
of-
time Brady retires.
Lots of people are on the Bills train. I'm not at all. I'm not a Bills fan at all. I think Josh Allen is trash. I don't know why people think last year validated anything. All he did was run around like an idiot. Like, that's not going to last.
True. I'm 7-9 for the Bills.
Yeah, exact same.
I'm 7-9. They released LaShawn McCoy today.
Oh, yep.
We talked about
that's
this a little
news.
bit
I kind of just
beforehand.
expected that.
Yeah, we weren't shocked by it, but at the same time, they added a bunch of receivers that are 5'10".
Yeah.
Cole Beasley, John Brown, and I like some of those guys. But at the end of the day, yeah, you're right. They were their best last year when they could run the ball and when Allen was literally just escaping the pocket and making plays. That's not sustainable.
My Devin Singletary pick feels really good now in like the 8th, 9th, 10th round, somewhere in there from Wednesday.
For sure. Let's scoot over. Let's do the AFC North.
Perfect.
So that's been Pittsburgh's and Baltimore's division for the last couple of years. Last lot of years, actually. Do you have someone unseating them, or are you still going with the Steelers?
I've got the Cleveland Browns stealing division, and the hype's real, right? I'm on the hype train. I'm jumping on it. Fuck it. Let's go for it. 11-5, Cleveland Browns barely edging out the Steelers, coming in at a close 10-6, and then there's a little bit of a drop off after that. Ravens 7-9. I have Bengals at 2-14. The funny thing is, I used to have the Bengals at like 13-3. Like for some reason, they would just like suck, and so I'm just not gonna go down that path. And 2-14 is what they're going now.
And how funny is it? Because I was always that guy who would rank the Bengals a little bit lower, and yeah, I've got them going 2-14. So we're finally on the same wavelength with that one. But yeah, I'm with you. I've got Cleveland winning the division at 12-4, and according to my playoffs, that's good enough for the 4th seed. Whereas I have the Steelers getting the last wild card spot, going 10-6. What teams do you have outside of the Browns for your playoffs? Anything?
Are we announcing playoffs already?
Well, we can always recap them back.
I don't like it. I'm not doing it. You can spoil yours, but I'm not spoiling mine.
Fair enough. Well, let's talk a little bit about that division winner then, because right now, it's not a lot of things that's been proven. It's all what could be on paper, because you got Baker who looked...
I mean, literally on paper.
Literally, they're on paper.
I have it on my piece of paper.
Look on YouTube. It's on paper. You got Baker who impressed as a rookie, but you got a second year with Jarvis Landry. You got Nick Chubb coming into his second year, and then you've got a top 3 receiver playing with these guys for the first time.
There's like 10 top 3 receivers in the league.
There are. Maybe 15.
Yeah.
Maybe 15. But and then the underrated thing about the Browns right now too, that defense with Myles Garrett at one edge rusher, Olivier Vernon at the other. They spent a draft pick on Greedy Williams. They've got some guys. That's a very complete team on paper. Is there any chance it just blows up and doesn't work?
Oh, 100%. There's a chance that it blows up and works. If they don't go to 11-5, they're going like 7-9 or 6-10 or something like that. It's like just going to be really bad or really good. Like I don't think there's an in between for them at this point. Because I think if it does go south, it's just the whole fucking team is falling apart. Adam Schefter is writing breaking articles about Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham pulling each other's hairs out probably at some point.
For sure. So one team that made the playoffs from this division that we don't have in it, because I have the Ravens going 7-9. What do you have the Ravens going?
7-9.
7-9.
We're really close on a lot of these. This
so
is
far,
crazy.
it'll probably change.
Yeah, white people.
Odds that they make what has to happen in order for them to do what we have them projected as
The Ravens?
return the playoffs. Yeah.
They need to get a new quarterback.
Simple as
Lamar
that.
Jackson is not it. He's not it, Doc. He's gonna be trash.
Last year when they made it, it was a lot of we don't know what to expect from him, and that defense was so damn good.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I would say why they have a chance is because that defense, it's the same. It's still a really good defense.
Who's their backup there?
The backup quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, RG3 was in the mix. Trace McSorley was in the mix.
Trace McSorley. There we go.
It's you got a lot of options there. But yeah, neither of us have the Ravens returning to the playoffs. Let's take a look at the AFC South, because I know for a fact we have some differences in here. I'm going to let you lead off with your breakdown of the AFC South.
So, with the Colts losing Andrew Luck, to me, I know lots of people are Jacoby fans. I'm not. I mean, I think he's a good guy, solid quarterback. All right, but the difference between Andrew Luck and the next guy for the Colts is it's the only
you can't measure it.
Yeah, it's like Aaron Rodgers when he's not there. It's like
once 212 episodes.
We're going to talk about him anyways. So, once you take him off the team is just dramatically worse. I just don't think they have this. I don't think T.Y. Hilton's as good without without Andrew Luck. I mean, I looked at his stats in 2017 in the last podcast, and it was like dramatically worse.
I think it's going to show with the running backs as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to hurt them a lot. I know their defense is improving. They have young guys, but they still have major holes. They do. So I just don't like. I dropped the Colts all the way down to 2 wins just because I'm just like, fuck it. They're not going to win shit without Andrew Luck. And maybe I'm just being spiteful to, I don't know, to something. I just want to watch Andrew Luck play, and now I'm angry about it, and so now I hate the Colts.
I got the Colts going 4-12, and this is what sucks. I was talking to somebody, I forgot who it was, a couple of days ago. The Colts defense is finally respectable.
Yeah.
The Colts offensive line is finally actually good.
That's true.
Guess what happened? Man, Andrew Luck took way too much of a beating back in the day, and now he can't even enjoy what this team actually became.
He got 1 year of it, and it was a good year, but his body's broken.
So I'm with you, man. 4 wins, but who is your division winner here?
Houston Texans. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't even like them that much. I think their offensive line is subpar.
Yeah,
they don't have a running back yet. They'll get one. They just traded Jadeveon Clowney away today.
Yeah.
They still have J.J. Watt, but I don't know if you can completely trust him to be healthy anymore. Just because once you have back injuries and stuff like that, they like Rob Gronkowski basically can just poke their head up at any time. I wouldn't be surprised for the Jaguars to win this division, who I have going 11-5 right behind them.
What's your record for the Texans?
The Texans 12-4.
Okay. So you mentioned the Jaguars, and that's who I have winning this division. And I'm comfortable that they can win the division. What I'm not comfortable with is what I projected them with for their win total, because I have them going 13-3.
That's big wins. They just go from dominant to shitty and then back to dominant again.
I looked at their over-under Vegas total. It was 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? If I'm even remotely close on this one, I am going to win. I bet the mortgage.
I mean, the Texans and Jaguars are going to I think they can sweep both the Titans and the Colts, and they'll probably split with each other. And then I don't remember exactly what their schedule must not have been hard outside of that, because I think I would have had Houston losing more games otherwise.
Right. So, yeah, I had Houston going 8-8, not making the playoffs. But going back
I'm more on that train. I actually don't like Houston at all. I hate Deshaun Watson.
You like my projection better than
I'm going to redo it.
Nice. Going back to the Jaguars, and here's the thing about the Jaguars. 2 years ago, their defense was lights out. They would carry the team. Blake Bortles did just enough. Leonard Fournette had a nice year, and they made it to the AFC Championship game. Last year, offense took a step backwards. Defense was still pretty good. It kind of flew under the radar. But this year, that defense is still going to be killer.
Yep, and they added Josh Allen.
I may or may not get to him at some point when we talk here. But guess what, man? They don't have Blake Bortles anymore, and I know that breaks your heart.
I know they have no chance of being good. That's what sucks about it.
Nick Foles. Here's the thing:
the Rams are probably going to win the Super Bowl now.
Nick Foles is better than Blake Bortles.
Nope.
But what Blake Bortles or what Nick Foles are we going to get? Are we going to get the Philly Blake, or why do I keep calling him Blake Bortles? It's on my mind now.
Yeah, he's in your head. That's what he does.
The Philly
he lives there.
He does. That asshole.
I love him.
The Philly Nick Foles, where he stepped in and they didn't miss a beat and they won the Super Bowl, or are we going to get what Nick Foles was every other place he went to before Philly,
or even regular season Nick Foles? Like when he played for the Eagles in the regular season, he was trash too.
Yeah, he kind of just kept him afloat.
We're going to see how average he is.
Yeah.
Immediately.
The nice thing is it's kind of like Philly though. Philly had a good defense. They had some playmakers around him, and he needs to not turn the ball over.
That's what it comes down to. He's an average quarterback who's going to do average things, and it's going to hurt him.
I think that's what you can do in that division now with Andrew Luck gone.
We'll see.
Okay, let's go on to the West, because you have a little bit of a shocker here, because I think everyone's still super high on the Chiefs, even with the talk of regression. Do you have someone other than the Chiefs taking this division?
The Chiefs still have maybe one of the worst passing defenses in the entire NFL. I just don't have a good defense. So I don't know that they've improved much there. I've got the Chargers. I love the Chargers. I love all their weapons. I know Melvin Gordon's not there. Don't really care. They have Justin Jackson and also Eckler who can replace them. They're a dime a dozen. You can use those guys. They're both experienced. They can play. With the weapons he has at wide receiver and the defense that Phillip Rivers is getting on his team nowadays, it's just, there's no reason for them not to be one of the best teams in all of football. It's just the team is just so good all around. It's like one of the most balanced teams in all the NFL. Like them and the Saints to me seem like the most well-rounded football teams as a whole.
Even without Melvin Gordon, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry. You've surrounded a Hall of Fame level quarterback with that talent.
Yeah.
And like you said, they probably have the best tandem of edge rushers in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we talked about like Vegas win totals over under, I think it was shortly after the draft. I went through every single team just like I did for these projections, and I had the Chargers winning this division. And I still have them going 12-4, but I have them being the first wild card. I ended up kind of caving in a little bit to the Chiefs hype again. I have the Chiefs as my AFC number 1 seed, also going 13-3. And honestly, it shouldn't make that big of a difference, but a big turning point for me with the Chiefs was Tyreek Hill getting cleared.
Fuck Tyreek Hill. I have Los Angeles Chargers at 13-3. The Chiefs coming in at second at 11-5. Then Raiders 8-8. I do think they're going to improve. They have too much talent not to. The offensive line is solid. They just gave their center a big contract. Holy shit.
Yep.
And the Broncos coming in at 4-12 because Joe Flacco stinks.
I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgot, and I wanted to talk about this because before going game by game, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to have the Raiders probably flirting with one of those wild cards. I went through that schedule. I have them going 6-10. It's a brutal schedule.
It's tough because they have to play the NFC North. So, I mean, the Packers, Vikings, and Bears are all good.
That's true. They're all legit playoff contenders.
Those are tough, and I think they have the Raiders. I think Raiders have to play in, I don't remember, fuck it.
What did you have Denver going?
4-12.
I am going 3-13. That's another team I think can maybe surprise a little bit here and there. End of the day, it's Flacco.
Yeah, it's Flacco. I mean, they do have, obviously, they have another tandem of outside linebackers that are scary.
Yeah,
they do. What's going on here?
That could be a great duo edge rushers. I mean, they were already good last year when Chubb was a rookie.
Yeah, so that they have that going on. But, I mean, Joe Flacco alone, the offense is just a question mark all around. There's just so many not good things about their offense. I don't know how they're going to score.
You had the Chiefs going 11-5. I know week 1 they open up at Jacksonville. I think that's going to be an awesome game to watch. You got Tyreek and Jalen Ramsey pretty much squaring off. I remember going through that division and saying, like, I'm barely going to give the Chiefs this win. I'm barely going to give the Chiefs this win. I feel like everyone's saying it, they are a great regression candidate.
Yeah.
And even though I have them winning the 13 games and I have them being the number 1 seed in the AFC, I wouldn't be shocked if they win like 9 games.
Who are we talking about?
The Chiefs. DJ is a big Nebraska Cornhuskers fan, and we made the decision that we were going to podcast during halftime of the Nebraska game. Well, guess what? Second half started. So DJ is just rolling out of just like in and out of consciousness here right now.
Well,
in this
they're
podcast.
playing like trash, and it's really fucking annoying me. It's a trash team. 9, I don't know. 9 would be tough. I had them actually losing to the Jaguars. I do remember having them lose to the Jaguars in that first game as well. I maybe I'm overrating the Jaguars. Maybe we're too high on them after last year, which we could be entirely too high on them. But I think 9 wins is a little bit low.
Before we scoot over to the NFC, let's talk really quick about our podcast sponsor, Pristine Auction. They've got tons of stuff for the man cave. They've got daily auctions, week-long auctions, all stuff for all sports, all fans. Make sure that you add to your man cave here as the NFL season is about to start. Been drinking this Busch Light. I do want to get to this here in a second as well. But hey, if you head over to pristineauction.com, when you register, enter registration code LOADED, you will get $5 added to your account. So head over to pristineauction.com today. One more thing before we start into this NFC discussion, the same thing we did for the AFC. If you're looking on YouTube, so we always drink during the podcast. This is one of the things we have to do. # let's get loaded. We're drinking Busch Lights that have the orange can, like the hunting can. That means fall, that means winter. Dude, I don't care that Labor Day ends summer. This shit cannot happen already. Why is the hunting can out already? We need more summer.
I do love orange, though.
That's what you're going to come back with. I love orange.
It's like my favorite color.
Over under on how many of these orange fucking cans that you crack today?
Today or this weekend? Because it could be...
Let's go Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, 40.
But yet you're not worried about returning home to that wife and kids.
I'm going to die.
Woo. All right, let's talk a little NFC here as South Alabama connects on a deep ball.
No, they dropped it. Okay, play-by-play.
NFC East. DJ, what do you got here?
I've got Carson Wentz coming back, fucking dominating. I think he's going to be a monster. You don't like this ball? Philadelphia Eagles going 12-4, winning the division. I think the Cowboys will be solid. They're going to be good. Zeke, I think, looks like their talks are heating up. I think he'll sign this weekend. That's why you fucking have your fantasy draft the weekend before football because of things like this. Rashawn McCoy released.
Yep.
Fucking Zeke's going to be signing. So now I can go ahead and draft Zeke probably with comfortability.
You're not drafting Josh Rosen that early anymore?
Picked. Take it to the house.
Oh, this fell off the rails real quick here because Nebraska's got a pick 6.
I do think the Cowboys will be good. I got them at 10-6.
Can you spoil it? Do you have them in the playoffs?
I don't even remember. No, I do not. There's lots of. I think some of the teams I vaulted up too high, but I don't have 10-6. I have a couple of 10-6 teams not making the playoffs in all of the NFL predictions here, and then the Redskins. Oops, the R words going 4-12. Giants at 3-13. I think that might be too many wins for the Giants.
What do you have them going?
3-13.
I've got them 4-12. So
I think we gave them too many wins.
One too many. I'm with you on the Eagles. I actually have. This is the craziest thing about the NFC. I think the NFC is so stacked right now. I've got the Eagles going 12-4, and they're getting the 4 seed.
Jesus,
that is insane. That's why. I mean, we go game by game. It just is what it is. But yeah,
I have them at the 4 seed.
That's the only team that I have from this division that's actually making the playoffs. Because I'm with you on Dallas. I've got them 10-6, and I remember when I was going through their schedule, I'm like, oh man, Dallas is going to push the Eagles for this division. They're at least going to get a wild card. Towards the end of the year, they had some tough games, and I just kept going loss, and I ended up having the Cowboys going 10-6 and not making it.
Yeah.
But man, I could see that definitely being a team that squeaks in. But it just didn't play off.
The NFC is just so tough, but the NFC South has 3 good teams. I think Tampa Bay is going to be sneaky good. NFC North has 3 really good teams that you're dealing with. Seahawks just got fucking Jadeveon Clowney, and they have the Rams in that division. Yeah. There's so many good football teams in NFC.
There are. So here's my thing on the Eagles. Got them going 12-4. I can see a bit of a resurgence here from that team. If Carson Wentz is truly back at it, 100% healthy.
Just pounding pussies.
You got your guy Miles Sanders. You drafted him.
Love that guy. Big man crush.
All over him. I'm not as big on him, but I think you can sprinkle him in with some Jordan Howard and almost make it like a Cohen-Howard backfield. That's going to be fine. You doing the Salt Bay thing?
Yeah.
Travis Kelce shout out.
Yeah, hashtag.
But yeah, I think the Eagles have enough going, obviously, offensively and defensively. They'll beat up on the Giants. They'll beat up on the R words. 12-4, taking that division. And I don't want to spend too much time on this one team in the basement of this division. But I'm sorry, Redskins fans.
R words.
I just offended you. And I said, and I got them winning one game.
On that, huh?
I was going to talk about that a little bit.
One game?
Too. So once again, I'm like, hey bookie, what's your over under total on the Redskins? And it was like 5.
You call your bookie? Nobody talks to their bookie
on my landline.
Nobody fucking calls a bookie
on my landline.
That's why we have internet,
so I can't get traced. So
that's how it works.
So there's like 5 or 6. I'm like, well, I got them winning 1. Let's bet the second mortgage on this shit. Yeah. So under Redskins win total, book it if you still can.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Yep.
Let's talk about this is your home court here, the NFC North. I'll let you lead off.
Oh shit. Well, obviously, my homer pick. I think Green Bay is going to be much improved after last year. Aaron Rodgers was on his Mike McCarthy strike. The defense is going to be top 15. And I've said, and this might be spoiling something, but I've always said if Aaron Rodgers gets a top 15 defense any point in his career, he's going to go to the Super Bowl. I think this is a top 15 defense. So I have the Packers coming in, going 12-4. Tough schedule, lots of tough teams. The Bears coming in at 10-6. Vikings at 8-8 and the Lions at 4-12.
Are you nervous that the Packers? I don't necessarily know that anyone's separated from the wide receiver pack to be the number 2 outside of Adams. I think all those guys can kind of get it done like as a team. But is there another go-to guy that's going to emerge here?
Everybody's overanalyzing this. It's Geronimo Allison as the second target. That's just it is what it is. I don't know why everybody wants to vault MVS.
I want Kumaro.
He's 4th. But, everybody wants to vault MVS up. Trevor Davis has looked really good, by the way. So, he's going to have some flashes, I think. Obviously, he's not going to be worthy of anything.
Trevor Davis is the best NFL wide receiver on an 80-yard field.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Perfect. So, he's flash. He actually has looked really good, so I'm excited to see. I don't think he's going to make much of a difference, but he's one of those guys you want to get the ball in open field.
Yeah.
But Geronimo Allison was 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, I think, in the first 4 games. So, he was on pace to be a top 20 wide receiver with Aaron Rodgers as the counterpart to Devontae Adams. And it's just, he's working out of the slot this year. He's excited about it. I'm excited about it. He's got good hands. He's a great run after the catch guy. I don't even think I don't know why I've seen people draft MVS above Geronimo Allison. I think that's just retard. I mean,
No.
idiotic.
You're going to edit that out?
I said retard.
So, yeah, you have the Packers winning the division. I know you don't want to spoil your playoffs, so I won't ask you to on this one. But, hey, I have got the Chicago Bears not only winning this division, but being the 2 seed in the NFC playoffs, going 12-4. But I do have the Packers getting the last wild card spot.
That's awesome.
At 11-5. Okay, here's my theory on the Bears.
Aaron Jones.
When I was going through the Bears schedule, I'm not quite sure how, but it felt like it was so much easier than the rest of this divisions. And, man, I know that it's super hard for one of the top defenses in the league from last year to repeat and really just kind of repeat that effort.
I'll tell you some things.
Okay, well, here it is. The Bears defense, I think if there's a defense that can do it, it's them. And while I'm not a Trubisky believer, I think Matt Nagy can hide his flaws even more in the second year working with him. And they've got playmakers. Outside of Cohen, you still got Anthony Miller. You still got Allen Robinson. You still have Trey Burton. They've got enough guys to make that a formidable offense. If that offense can even be in the top 15 to 12 in the league, we know the defense is a shoe-in for like top 5 or 6. That's a team that's going to be in the mix when it's all said and done. And if they can get home field advantage in the playoffs, Chicago is not a good place to play in January.
Okay, so I've got some tidbits for you. You might change your mind here.
All right.
Vic Fangio's gone, so their defense coordinator isn't there anymore. And when you take percentages of whatever, I don't even know what I'm saying, but Chicago Bears were statistically, I'm fucking with words like
drink another beer.
Yeah, statistically the most healthy defense in all of the NFL last year. That just isn't going to happen 2 years in a row. Like, that's just not how it works. There's going to be injuries. Somebody's going to get injured. A few guys are going to get injured. That's going to bring them their defense. That was a hit.
Yeah.
And they won't be as good. They have secondary. I don't think their secondary is that great. They have Clinton Dix now. That automatically makes you a little bit worse. He just can't tackle and is terrible in the pass. I just think the defense is going to have a bigger regression than what people are expecting. And number 2, Trubisky's he's not it. I was high on him last year, and I hit on it fantasy football wise. The more I've watched him, it's just he's not going to get there. He won't, and I think that he's going to hurt them in multiple games this year. I think 10-6 is fair. I wouldn't be surprised to see worse than this.
The other team that probably has a fighting chance, at least in this division, is the Vikings. And I have them going 10-6, but not making the playoffs.
Jesus Christ.
And I feel like I've said it all offseason that I think the defense is good. I think the offense is going to do fine. You put the Vikings in the NFC East, in the NFC West, or pretty much any division in the AFC, I think they're probably a playoff team. I think that they are just stuck in a division with Chicago as an up-and-comer and Green Bay, who's like the model of consistency in the division.
Still kings of the North, everybody. They own the North still. Always do.
Let's go down to the NFC South. How does this one shake out for you?
All right. Well, the standard New Orleans Saints, I have them going 13-3. I still think they're probably the best team in the NFL overall. Them or the Chargers, I think are interchangeable in my head as far as just looking at paper, what we know using our brains. So I have them coming at 13-3. I got the Panthers and the return of Cam Newton coming in at 11-5. I think Cam Newton's going to have a hell of a return. I don't care about his little ankle injury that he has right now. I think he has a lot to prove after last season. His shoulder's finally recovered. Mm-hmm. I'm really, really excited to watch Cam Newton this year.
Me too.
So I wanted to talk about this, but I'll just say 9-7 for the Falcons, 5-11 for the Bucks. Good division. I wanted to talk about Cam Newton. So I did a draft on Wednesday. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if the ankle injury scared people. I don't know if it's the unknown because of his shoulder last year. But I don't draft quarterbacks early. And I didn't. I got to the 10th round and Cam Newton was still on the board.
I think it's literally what you just said, though. It's like someone saw a report, or a lot of people in your draft saw a report that said, like, hey, Cam Newton, that injury is still a little bit up in the air. He's probably a goal for week 1, but it's not like it's 100%. And that just scares people off. But it's a long season.
He's going to run the ball no matter what. Like, that's just what he's going to do. 10th round, I grabbed him. Like, I had to.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, why are you guys letting this happen?
So you have the Panthers going 11-5.
Yeah.
Where did you have the Falcons?
9-7.
What's your beef with the Falcons? And if you say Matt Ryan, I'm throwing you off your ball.
Fucking Matt Ryan is the worst goddamn quarterback in the entire history of the NFL. And plus, I don't know, their defense is just so
I think their defense is finally healthy, though.
inconsistent, not good. They're I don't know. They remind me of the Chiefs, but not as talented at the quarterback position. Like they're very similar to like a Chiefs team. Like they have guys, but the quarterback brings them down. I'm worried about the running situation. I don't know how Devontae is going to be. It's weird watching him get drafted in drafts this year because I think everybody's kind of like, do I take a receiver or do I take Freeman here?
Yeah.
And then where does he become a good value? So that's like weighing where to take Devontae Freeman now is one of the craziest things I've seen.
Because he could be a workhorse running back, because he could get another concussion and never play again.
Yeah, or he could just not be good. You just don't know.
I'm not huge on spoilers, but I'm going to give a spoiler alert here because you don't have the Falcons making the playoffs. I have them in the NFC Conference Championship game.
That's gross.
I'm a big believer in the Falcons this year. I actually have them as the 5th seed in the NFC. So sneaking in as a wild card and still making it.
Matt Ryan's too much of he chokes. He's a choker.
We're going to see more of Matt Ryan from 2 years ago than we are of Matt Ryan from like last year.
You mean like choking?
No, he's going to do
Super
fine.
Bowl?
The defense gave up that lead. So I've got the Falcons 11-5. I've got the Carolina Panthers not making the playoffs but going 9-7. I like what they're doing. I just don't think it's totally there yet. And I'll let you talk about the Buccaneers when I'm done here. But this is funny because I just looked over to your computer because I think you said that the Buccaneers were going to be good this year. And you were going
I think they're going to be better than what people think. People have them at like 2-3 wins. So I've got 5.
I do. I have them going 3-13. I'm not a huge fan of this whole Winston Arians thing that everyone just thinks going to be. It's
going to be amazing.
Don't see it. All right,
I'm starting Jameis week 1 in fantasy football.
You should.
He has like the Falcons actually. So
no, the Falcons play the Vikings.
Or they have a defense that's San Francisco.
Oh, I think you're right.
I think it's San Fran.
Yeah. Okay, so you talked a lot about the Saints, and I agree with everything you said. I have them going 12-4, getting the 3rd seed in the NFC playoffs. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Falcons here because obviously that's one of my teams. Got them going 11-5. Like I said when I cut you off a little bit, defense is healthy. It's going to be improved. They're going to make it happen this year. They're a little bit stuck in that good division too, which they're going to get some losses just because those teams are going to eat each other up a bit. I've been telling you this all offseason, DJ. Freeman's healthy. Ito Smith is nothing to shake a stick
Who's
at.
Ito Smith?
I'm not quite sure why you'd shake a stick at him. But he's nothing. Smith. He's nothing to shake a stick at. And dude, I've been telling you this, and I want you to believe me. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley is going to be the best duo at wide receiver this entire season.
Okay, coming from the guy who loves Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry.
Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley are going to be the second best duo in the NFL this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, well, I got them going 11-5, and I kind of spoiled where they're going from there.
So this fucking guy thinks we have a bet that Calvin Ridley, I say he won't finish inside the top 20 wide receivers. You have him. You had the perfect opportunity to take Calvin Ridley. Actually, you got to take him before you. But you told me you wouldn't have taken Calvin Ridley in your turn. You were picking number 12. And that's like right where he was going. It was like wide receiver 20-something that you would have been grabbing him at. You said you weren't going to take him? How big of a hypocrite are you?
It's a running back world, and I'm just living in it, man.
It was on the turn. You had 2 picks.
I took a wide receiver.
This was ridiculous.
All right, one more division left in the NFC, and it's the West. You got the Rams here?
Yes. You want me to keep going?
Sure do.
Okay. Well, you asked a question, I answered it. That's what I do on this podcast. I have the Rams going 12-4.
Yes.
I might have to change this, but I have the Seahawks going 8-8.
Too late.
I know it's well now they have Jadeveon Clowney. It's throwing me off a little bit. I had the Seahawks going 8-8. This shit is brutal for their schedule too. I don't remember exactly who they played, but I remember being like, holy shit, they have tough games. Because I wanted to pick Seattle to win more. I don't like Seattle, but I thought in my head when I was going into it, I'm like, I'm gonna have them win 10 to 12 games. Yep. I assumed I did. I had them going 8-8. The Niners going 5-12. But Niners hype. I don't think if you don't look good in preseason as the starting quarterback and don't like Jimmy Garoppolo already, I know it's preseason, but if you don't look good in preseason against just trash, I just don't have any confidence.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, okay, you could be, let's say Aaron Rodgers would have played one series and he would have thrown an interception.
Yeah.
No one would have given a shit.
Nope.
The thing is, Jimmy Garoppolo has played, 6-7 good games in his career?
Yeah.
We still don't know. Defenses hadn't had a chance to actually get the book on him, and he didn't look good when he played.
At all.
Scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, not good. And then the Cardinals, sucking. It's gonna be hell year for Kyler Murray. If he even makes it through the year. but it's going to be a terrible year for him. He's going to hate it. Everyone's going to be mad at them.
What
It's
do you
going to
have
be
the
great.
record be?
2-14.
So there's a chance you're saying that the Cardinals could pick number 1
Yep.
3 straight years.
I probably would. I
Wait.
do. I actually do have them picking number 1 according to
Oh,
these.
I mean, it wouldn't be 3 straight years. I'm sorry, because I took Rosen at like 10 or 11.
Between them and the Colts and the Bengals.
But 2 straight years.
Yeah.
Brutal. I have the Cardinals going 1-15.
They're bad. They are. They're bad. Like anybody who thinks that they're people will have them probably winning too many games just because they have this new Cliff Kingsbury hype and Kyler Murray hype. It's not gonna work. It's there. There's nothing. There's no David Johnson. What else is good on this team?
Cliff Kingsbury got fired from his last head coaching gig.
Yeah. I don't like this anything at all. I'm gonna just keep talking while you get your beer back.
I know I got that beer at the wrong time, and however I worked this out, but I'm back, and the NFC West features my number 1 team in the NFC West because it's the Rams. I have them going 14-2, DJ. They're over under Vegas win total like 10.5. Called my bookie again. I got third mortgage.
BetMyBookie.com.
Bet it. I called him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got them going 14-2. This is a team that you have the Super Bowl hangover from the team that loses it. Sometimes they don't even make the playoffs. We've seen that a lot. Man, I went through this schedule. I couldn't find games to pick them to lose.
I'm going to be honest with you. I am legitimately worried that they are going to – that Seahawks and Rams could actually flip. Like, I think it could be like 12-4 Seahawks, 8-8 Rams. I'm legitimately worried about Jared Goff. I don't know if he's good. I don't know if he's that good. The more I've like listened to things and watched, he's like a one-read guy that Sean McVay was getting guys open for him for, and then he just had to make the throw there. Like SEC offense.
That's it.
Against SEC, or not offense, it's Big 12. Big 12 defenses versus Big 12 offenses. That's what it felt like. Just
see, the thing is, I believe that. I don't think Jared
That's what
Goff,
I'm worried. I think it's going to work negatively, and Blake Bortles is probably going to take the team to the promised land.
Spin him up a little bit.
You fuckstick.
Jared. He wasn't
Jump
yelling
on
at the listeners. He wasn't yelling at me. He was yelling at Nebraska. They got a 21-point lead. You're doing okay.
Yeah, but they just muffed it.
I agree with what you're saying about Goff. He's like between like probably 11 and 14 or 15 when it comes to quarterbacks. But that Sean McVay and his offense and the weapons they have around him,
a lot of
and
weapons.
Their offensive line, you can mask that. So that's what I'm saying about Matt Nagy with Trubisky. You can mask so many things when you have that creative play calling, and you're so much more next level than everyone. They're going to be fine. Gurley's going to be fine. Henderson is going to be a nice complimentary running back. Dude, you have those 3 receivers. You are the self-proclaimed. You believed in Robert Woods before anyone did.
Oh yeah, big time.
You loved him. I was always like pretty high on Cooper Kupp and Brandon Cooks, and between the two of us, we love those 3 guys.
I love Robert Woods.
It's like you can't mask what they're doing, and I don't even think their defense has to perform like to the top tier. I think they'll just outscore people. They're going to average like 33 points a game this year. They're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I'm worried about them.
All right, DJ, we're here. We're in the playoffs. I know I spoiled a lot of mine, but yours are wide open. So it's wild card weekend. Let's start in the AFC.
Are we going to talk about my seeds and divisions before we get to the...
Let's recap. I like that idea. Let's recap. What do you have for the AFC, starting with the 1 seed, working down to the 6?
So you have the Chiefs as your 1 seed. I actually have the Chargers in the AFC as my 1 seed.
Yep.
They went 13-3. Houston Texans are coming in at the 2 seed at 12-4. We got the Patriots at the 3 seed. The Browns at the 4 seed. And then the Chiefs are a wild card team for me because the Chargers win the division, so naturally they have to be a wild card, no choices. Yep. I don't think that's a dig on the Chiefs at all. I just think the Chargers are going to finish better than them. Yep. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars sneaking in with the last wild card spot.
Okay, and I've got 1 Kansas City, 2 Jags, 3 Patriots, 4 Browns, 5 Chargers. Same thing with UR. I think the Chargers could win that division and be a 1 seed, but hey, you don't win your division, you're in the wild card.
Yeah.
And 6 Steelers.
That's the only one we're different on. I have the Texans with the Steelers.
Okay, so let's go to the NFC. What's your rankings there?
So I've got the Saints coming in at the 1 seed. The Packers, we have some ties in it, so I just threw them because I like them better. The Packers in at the 2 seed. The Rams at the 3 seed. The Eagles coming in at 4, who I like a lot. The Carolina Panthers at the 5 seed, and the Bears are the last wild card spot.
So the Bears at least did make your playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
Happy to hear that.
I didn't want to be too bad.
Right. My number 1 is the Rams. My 2 is the Bears. My 3 Saints, my 4 of the Eagles, and then my wild card spots, I gave the first one to Atlanta, and I gave the second one to the Green Bay Packers.
We only have one different again.
What's our
I had
difference
the Panthers,
there?
you had the
And I
Falcons.
Same
Same
division.
division. Tits.
All right, well, let's stroll into wild card weekend.
Damn.
Start in the AFC.
All right, AFC wild card. I've got the Jaguars at the Pats. I have the Jaguars knocking the Patriots out the first weekend because my prediction is that the Patriots will not get to the Super Bowl for 10 to next 20 years. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna back off of
Tom
it.
Brady's been to 9 Super Bowls.
Don't care. Not going back to the Super Bowl ever again. Tom Brady will never see a Super Bowl. I can watch it on TV, but he'll never be playing in the Super Bowl again. And then, well, unless he plays for a different football team, maybe.
Jesus.
And
Hope he goes
then-
to the Dolphins. Then.
So the Jags taking them down, and then I have the Chiefs at the Browns, and I have the Chiefs taking down the Cleveland Browns. So both the road teams are
So you got a
winning.
couple of road warriors.
Yeah,
there
winning
your
in
wild
the
card.
AFC. Yep.
All right, well, I've got Pittsburgh at New England. I have New England winning that, so we already have that one different.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit too much uncertainty right now for Pittsburgh. I think they're going to do better than kind of what I was thinking throughout the entire offseason. I like the way that offense is clicking. I'm a little bit more of a believer in James Conner now than I ever was. I love Juju. It's a Patriots world, and every other NFL team is living in it. Then I've got the Chargers going to Cleveland, and I have the Browns getting bounced by the road team, the Chargers.
Yeah, they're just not past the first round. They're not there yet. We've got them in the playoffs. I think advancing them past the first round is just too much.
Part of me was just like, dude, don't get greedy.
Yeah.
You can't have it all right
Yeah,
away.
it's just too far.
All right, well, let's jump into the NFC games then for the wild card.
Wild card. I have Bears at the Rams, Panthers at the Eagles. Opposite of what I did in the AFC. I think the Rams beat the Bears at home. The Bears double doink probably. Maybe 3. Who knows? they might have a girl kicker this year. And then I have the Panthers. I have the Panthers, or the Eagles beating the Panthers at home because I Carson Wentz and that Philadelphia defense. And there's just something about Philadelphia.
Okay, my NFC wild card weekend is Green Bay traveling to New Orleans. The Dome's a scary place, man.
Yeah,
New Orleans is a scary place. You go there, you get sick. You're going to get that Katrina water. You're going to get hammered. Green Bay can't live up to that. Saints win. Sorry. Knocked you right out. Then I have Atlanta visiting Philadelphia.
Oh, God, here we go.
And I already spoiled this for you. I already told you Atlanta's in the NFC Championship game. So, yeah, I have them beating Philadelphia. A lot of this is just kind of – I do like Philly. I think they're going to bounce back a little bit yet this year. But, man, they're not even a lock with Dallas. And like we said, Zeke's probably coming back here soon. They're not even a lock to take that division at this point now. I just don't have as much faith in them as I used to. I'm going to go with the Falcons. So, divisional round.
Divisional. All right, AFC divisional round. I don't like it when you say something and then don't tell me that I'm
Transition.
I've got the buys for us with the Chargers, or buys for me with the Chargers and the Texans. So the Jaguars are going to be at the Chargers as they're the lowest seed. So they're going to LA, which I guess isn't. That's one thing that also worries me is it doesn't seem like a home game ever for the Chargers.
It's not.
Yeah. So they're going to LA, and then the Chiefs are at the Texans. I've got Chargers bouncing the Jaguars at home because I think the Chargers are just really good. And I'm picking the Chiefs. So I'm not against the Chiefs. So I've got the Chiefs beating the Texans in Houston.
Okay, so I have the Chiefs and Chargers, which is a divisional game. This one, probably my hardest pick because back in April when we did these, I had the Chargers beating the Chiefs. I changed it.
Oh, shit.
I went with the Chiefs. I am taking the Chiefs. They're winning that. They're going to the AFC Championship game. And then I've got New England at Jacksonville. And you know what? I had the Jaguars going 13-3. But while I think they can get double-digit wins, I still can't believe that much in them. I don't think Jacksonville's that much of a home field advantage. Like I said, man, it's New England's world. There's 31 other teams trying to knock them off. No one's been able to do it the last 2 decades. I'm taking the Patriots to go into Jacksonville and setting up a conference championship, which is a repeat of last year, New England and Kansas City.
Oh, Jesus.
NFC DJ.
NFC divisional round. I've got the Eagles at the Saints. Saints are the 1 seed. And then the Rams going to Green Bay. I really like the Eagles. I'm excited about it. I think the Eagles take down the Saints in the Dome. I'm doing it. They're back. Carson Wentz has so much to prove because he wasn't there for the Super Bowl win,
right.
the playoffs. This is hopefully gets his first full year for a long time. Do you remember, like, Stafford got injured all the time? People have forgotten about that. I think that's going to happen to Wes. He's not going to get injured like ever again, hopefully. And people are just going to forget about these injuries that happened early.
Right.
And this is where it starts to take off and where they start to forget it. And then the Rams at Green Bay, obviously on the frozen tundra, Lambeau. I've got Green Bay beating the Rams.
So you're a true believer in that Packers defense improving that much.
I really think they're a top 15 defense at worst.
They have the coordinator. They brought in two edge rushers.
Jair Alexander, maybe one of the best cornerbacks in all of football right now.
Just being able to control that offense.
The offense I'm not worried about.
All right, so who was your winners there?
The weird thing is that you just questioned the Green Bay Packers offense over the defense with Aaron Rodgers. That's crazy.
You got to think outside the box. We're drinking orange beers, DJ.
Yeah, we're drinking orange beers. My favorite color. All right, what was the question?
I don't care anymore. NFC divisional games. I've got the Atlanta Falcons visiting the Rams, and I have the Falcons winning it because you already saw that if you've been listening. And then I've got the Saints going into Chicago. I know I said this already, but this is the hardest game I've had to pick. Saints at Bears is such a dirty matchup because you've got strength versus strength. It's the league's, in my opinion, best offense in the Saints versus the league's best defense in the Bears. What's going to give? I talked about going to Chicago in January. It's going to be tough. Man, this is the honeymoon for Drew Brees. He's going to get it done. He's going to, at the end of the day, I think a good offense can beat a good defense. Weather be damned. I can't factor that in too much. Global warming, shit might change.
That's like the opposite thinking of what there always was, too. But nowadays, it's true.
It is. Yeah, for sure. I've got the Saints. So I've got the Falcons and Saints advancing to the conference championship.
You're an idiot.
Thanks. What do you have for the AFC conference championship?
So my AFC championship is, I already picked, right? So I'm just going to the AFC championship. I've got the Chiefs at the Chargers, which you had in the divisional round.
Yep.
I have the Chargers taking that one at home. I've made this exact same Super Bowl pick in the past that I'm about to, but I'm going to do it. I didn't do it last year, but I'm going to do it again. It's going to happen. It has to happen. So I have the Chargers advancing to the Super Bowl, taking down Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs in their rubber match. I'm sure it'll be the third time they play each other, so I'm sure they'll split it at that point. So the Chargers take the rubber match and go to the Super Bowl.
And I have the rematch of last year's, New England and Kansas City again, but I have a different outcome this time.
God.
It's Mahomes. It's the Chiefs.
Explain.
The offense is just going to be too much. God, New England can't make the damn Super Bowl every single year, right? Like at some point, the torch has to be passed. You're passing it over to Mahomes. Like it's going to be the Chiefs. Their offense is too much. I think, despite what you say about their defense being lacking, I think it made enough improvements. It's going to be able to get it done at home in the playoffs. They've got the experience now. Give me the Chiefs to represent the AFC.
In the NFC, I have the Eagles in Green Bay. That's kind of exciting matchup.
Wait, where is this game?
In Green Bay.
Oh, wow.
Green Bay gets to play at home the entire playoffs in the frozen tundra. So obviously Green Bay doesn't lose at home. Top 15 defense. I told you if Aaron Rodgers gets the top 15 defense again, they're going to the Super Bowl. Green Bay Packers win. Everybody's happy at Green Bay. Criticisms off Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be amazing. They're in the Super Bowl against the Chargers.
Okay.
As I predicted before, probably like 2 years ago.
So who was it? Was Green Bay and who?
I fucking love Green Bay and the Chargers.
Well, I'm sorry, in the NFC conference.
Oh, it was the Eagles and Packers.
Okay, well, I don't have either of those teams because, as we all know, I've got my Falcons in there. They're going to be
my Falcons. This guy's a fucking. Yeah. Where's the Dolphins homer this year? Right at the end of the playoffs.
We don't talk about that anymore. I got my Falcons going to New Orleans in an NFC South rivalry game, playing the Saints. And at the end of the day, my team's going to falter a little bit here. It's tough to play in New Orleans anytime. That fucking stadium is just bonkers. I said bonkers. Must be these orange beers. Saints are going to get it done. Like I said, it's Drew Brees' honeymoon tour. They've got such a complete team, in my opinion. They re-upped on Michael Thomas. Kamara's one of the top 3 backs in the league. Drew Brees is freaking Drew Brees. It's going to happen. I've got the Saints getting back to the Super Bowl.
That's a fair pick.
What's your Super Bowl looking like?
All right, so we got Chargers versus the Green Bay Packers. And who do you think I'm going to choose?
Gosh, I hope
this is the revenge. This is for the hit article that came out. This is everybody trying to push the narrative that Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers is overriding him. That's not happening. They're just putting out fake quotes and not having all the context in there. It's for everybody doubting this defense, but it's mostly just because Aaron Rodgers. That's it. Aaron Rodgers is going to do the thing. They're going to have the top 15 defense, and fuck. The Packers win the Super Bowl.
Omen. That's an omen. DJ's giving his breakdown as to why the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl at the same time Nebraska throws an interception against South Alabama. That's an omen. Happening? They're not even going to make the playoffs.
Oh, my God.
Change it? You want to change it?
No, I don't at all.
On the record, DJ's got the Packers as
winning.
The Super Bowl.
They're the Super Bowl champs.
Woo, woo. All right, we didn't have either team sharing in the Super Bowl.
Nope.
I got the Saints and the Chiefs. And for how much I think Mahomes is the next best thing, how much I think the defense has improved, for how much that offense just dominates, is going to dominate throughout the year. I've been saying it this whole time. It's the Saints' year. I know that they play in a very tough division. It's going to be hard for them to even escape with a victory in that division. But they've got more experience than anyone. They have probably one of the most complete quarterbacks. And we all know it's a quarterback league, end of the day. Man, they're going to get it done. I have these Saints winning the Super Bowl, and I don't know what Drew Brees' future is going to hold after that. I could see him calling it a day.
Just retires.
Why not? John Elway it.
Yeah, he probably just wants to stay in the league as long as Tom Brady does.
That's true. Maybe he'll play forever again.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got the Saints winning the Super Bowl. You've got the Packers. So one way or another, NFC is getting it done. Who's got the Pro Bowl? I'm just kidding.
Pro Bowl.
Answer that.
Dolphins.
Let's talk about the league MVP. Who do you have taking home that award?
Continue the run tour. Aaron Rodgers is the league MVP. Number 3, taking it down. He's just going to go out and dominate. 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, monster year. He's going to be play action all over everybody's faces.
All right, well, here I have a quarterback as well. I feel like that's the obvious way to go.
Yeah, no.
It's not Pat Mahomes.
If it's Matt Ryan, I'm leaving.
It's not Matt Ryan.
Good. I didn't want to leave.
It's Phillip Rivers.
Fair.
Because here's my theory on this. Pat Mahomes can have a great year. Drew Brees can have a great year. Aaron Rodgers can have a great year. If Rivers puts up even somewhat decent stats, if he can lead that team to a division win or even the playoffs, I think some voters might see this as almost like a lifetime achievement award and literally give it to Rivers based on that. Plus, he has the skills to do it anyways. Like, he's going to be there statistically when it's all said and done. And we'll see what happens with the Melvin Gordon thing. But let's say his holdout keeps happening and the Chargers win 11 games and they make the playoffs or even win the division. So much attention is going to be given to Phillip Rivers and his performance because he's going to be the one that does it. Obviously, the defense is going to be there. But Phillip Rivers is going to be the one that's like the main cog to this. Voters are going to take notice on that. I'm going to give it to Rivers. This guy deserves an MVP at some point in his life.
You just give it to him because he deserves one?
Lifetime achievement.
Okay, well, fair enough. I mean, I have them in the Super Bowl, so I obviously think he has a good season.
Runner-up in your book.
Yeah, exactly.
My runner-up was Drew Brees.
I didn't know we were doing runner-ups.
I have a third. Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fuck off. If that guy plays quarterback more than 1 week, I'm gonna be. He shouldn't be even playing quarterback for 1 week unless Josh Rosen gets hurt.
I may boycott Dolphins games.
He might
plays
have
too
to.
much longer.
Get rid of the DirecTV. Just be a Packer fan.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about rookies here. Let's start with your offensive rookie of the year. Who do you got and why?
So I went with my man crush. I almost went Miles Sanders. I almost switched it to Devin Singletary after LaShawn McCoy left. I can't go that far. I love Miles Sanders, but my guy this year is Josh Jacobs. It's my number one running back in one of my leagues because I went 3 wide receivers in the first 4 rounds for some reason. I don't know what I was doing. But Josh Jacobs, he's my guy. He's going to have a monster year, and I don't think you won't be able to give it to him.
What's the thing? How is he not going to get, targeted more than anyone? At the end of the day, offensive rookie of the year, you've got a guy. The quarterback would be Kyler Murray. I'm not even going to tread with that one.
Who's Kyler Murray?
Exactly. So then you're obviously looking running back, wide receiver. This shit doesn't go to offensive linemen
Jesus
ever.
Christ, this is gotta be a joke.
As Nebraska now pulls within a touchdown or against them. So yeah, you're looking at running backs and wide receivers, and it's a really down year in my opinion for the wide receivers. Like Mecole Hardman was so hyped up at one point, but that's when Tyreek Hill was a question mark. He's not a question mark anymore. He's not going to get the volume that he was. Josh Jacobs is going to get tons of volume. They cut Doug Martin. You have a platoon of DeAndre Washington and Jalen Richard behind him.
Yeah, been there forever.
Josh Jacobs is going to get peppered with targets, with carries. He's going to get the stats, and that's what you look at in these Rookie of the Year awards. You look at just overall stats. Josh Jacobs is probably going to be a stat machine, and in your fantasy football case, when you go 3 wide receivers out of your first 4 picks, yeah, you're probably not going to have a bell call running back like
Bell call.
a James orange beer, like a James Conner, like a Dalvin Cook, like a Zeke Elliott, you're going to end up with a guy like Josh Jacobs. And guess what? If it pans out the way we're predicting, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Let's go to defense.
I took Miles Sanders next too, so I'm going rookie running backs at my starting RB positions.
There you go. Defensive rookie of the year.
All right. Another man crush, if you guys have listened all the way up from the draft, 2019 draft, guy I love more than anybody, guy who just jumped off the page to me, the LSU linebacker, Devin White. He's at Tampa Bay. He gets to play with Levante David. I think he's just going to jump off the page to everybody. I think he has a big year this year in his rookie year. Obviously, if I'm picking him defensive rookie of the year, stands out, makes plays all over the field. I'm a big Devin White truther.
Quan Alexander's out of the picture.
Yep.
Someone's going to get a bunch of tackles.
Yep.
He was probably my first choice
Yeah.
for a while. I was going all in on that. And then I watched the Miami Dolphins play the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Josh Allen, who is a guy I was a little critical coming out of college. Critical on, I should say.
Critical of.
There. Orange beers. Man, he jumped off the screen. Jesse Davis, who was playing right tackle for the Dolphins in that game, is not a stud. He's hardly starting quality. He's more made to be a guard anyways, but he's a veteran. He's been playing in the league for years. Josh Allen made it look like Josh Allen was the 5-6-year pro guy and Davis was the rookie. This dude was getting by him on every single play. It was resulting in sacks, it was resulting in hurries, and it was resulting in terrible decisions. I didn't need to see anything else. That defense is so stacked. He's going to be put in so many opportunities to make plays. Dude, he's going to have, and you don't usually see this out of edge rushers as a rookie, he's going to have a good year.
Josh Allen plays offense. And he's not a rookie anymore.
Everything I just said, don't listen.
Forget about it.
Forget about that guy. What else do you got, DJ? Anything else that you want
I'm going to start losing my mind. Nebraska hasn't even scored on offense in the second half.
Ever since we started this podcast, DJ has just been on edge. He's got this, if you've been hearing weird noises throughout this podcast, he's got this Dave and Buster's cushy ball that he's been bouncing off the table. He's been squeezing. Air's been popping out of it. He hasn't even had a drink of his beer for the last, I would say 20 minutes.
They can't even score on offense. I mean, this is frustrating for me. I don't understand. They're too. Yeah, I'm leaving.
There's that noise again. Before we wrap this up, I know that you set the over/under on beers drank at our fantasy party at 40. I think we're both probably going to go over. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. Outside of just the straight up beer drinking, is there any other thing at this fantasy party or throughout the weekend that you're just looking forward to is going to make your year?
I really just hope Devin shows up. Because if that doesn't, I'm going to be disappointed.
If you're a first-time listener, that's not going to make sense. If you've been with us for, forever, you're fine. But if you've been even with us for the last, 2 weeks. I think it was 3-4 weeks, yeah. You are going to get that, and you are going to love that. So, fantasy party? I was gonna give my opinion on that too, but you took the ball on the tee and you just hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
All right, well, check out our website, loadedboxpodcast.com. We've got all of our articles, our fantasy rankings, if you still have your draft coming up. We've got our blogs, podcasts. Everything can be found there. Check us out on Twitter at LoadedBox. Our next episode, DJ, we are into the regular season. Our first one that we drop, we do 2 preview podcasts each week. The first one's more fantasy-oriented. It's going to be daily fantasy. It's going to be listener questions. The second preview podcast, we go game by game, giving our picks both straight up and against the spread. So be on the lookout for both of those. We're available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. DJ, we got a lot of beer drinking ahead of us. Let's wrap this up. So send us out.
Cheers. Bye.